Have you ever noticed how one day a food's a superfood and the next it's poison? First it was fat, then sugar, then gluten. And somehow the potato, the innocent, buttery comfort food, got caught in the crossfire. It went from hero to villain faster than you can say low carb. Suddenly, eating fries felt rebellious. How did a life-sustaining root become a guilty pleasure? Diet fads and food fears turned the humble spud into a scapegoat. Grab a snack. Yes, even fries, because we're diving into how potatoes and carbs got a bad reputation right here on History of Food. Let's be honest. Somewhere along the way, we went from worshiping the potato to treating it like a guilty pleasure. Once the backbone of comfort food, the humble spud is now whispered about like it's contraband. You're eating fries? At lunch? Wow, brave. But it wasn't always like this. For centuries, potatoes were heroes, cheap, filling, and reliable. They fed families, shaped cuisines, and became the golden sidekick to every meal. Then came the carb wars. Somewhere in the late 20th century, food stopped being just food. It became ideology. Suddenly, dinner wasn't about what tasted good. It was about what made you morally superior. Fat was the first villain, and carbs were the sneaky sidekick waiting for their turn in the spotlight. Bread? Evil. Pasta? Sinful. Potatoes? Basically the devil's starch. Supermarkets rushed to label everything low carb. People proudly told their friends, "I haven't had a potato in months," like they'd just quit a dangerous drug. The irony? A few decades earlier, people were terrified of fat. So they swapped butter for margarine, eggs for egg whites, and loaded up on low-fat snacks filled with, you guessed it, carbs. Humans apparently love swinging from one extreme to another. It's kind of funny when you think about it. The same potato that once fed armies and explorers suddenly became a symbol of dietary shame. And who could blame them? The potato is a blank canvas. You can roast it, mash it, fry it, bake it, or turn it into vodka if life gets really stressful. It's a food with range. Yet somehow, it got caught in the crossfire of nutritional dogma. But let's rewind for a second. Why did carbs become such a big deal in the first place? It all comes down to one word: insulin. When you eat carbs, especially refined ones, your body breaks them down into sugar, which spikes insulin levels. That's the hormone that helps store energy, and too much of it can lead to fat storage. So, some scientists argued that carbs were making us fat, tired, and sick. Sounds convincing, right? Except, it's not that simple. Not all carbs are created equal. A glazed donut and a baked potato may both be carbs, but they don't behave the same in your body. The potato comes with fiber, vitamins, potassium, and antioxidants. Actual nutrients. The donut? Mostly regret. Pop culture didn't quite get the memo. Diet books and influencers lumped all carbs together, turning every bagel, rice grain, and French fry into a so-called fat trap. Restaurants joined the crusade with bunless burgers, lettuce tacos, and cauliflower everything. Pizza, rice, you name it. Poor potatoes were completely ghosted. But here's the twist. After all the low-carb hype, science circled back with a plot twist worthy of a Netflix drama. Carbs aren't the enemy after all. Recent studies started showing that it's not carbs themselves, but the type and amount that matter. Whole carbs like potatoes, oats, and beans? Totally fine. Ultra-processed junk full of sugar and refined flour? That's where the problem lies. Turns out, when you eat real whole potatoes, skin and all, they can actually help with satiety, digestion, and even blood sugar control. Some research suggests that resistant starch in cooked and cooled potatoes may even act like fiber, feeding good gut bacteria. Translation: Grandma's potato salad might actually be good for you. But by the time this redemption arc appeared, the damage was done. For years, wellness culture equated healthy with low carb, and the spud became shorthand for bad choices. It didn't help that the most famous potato dishes, fries, chips, mashed with cream, were often paired with oil, salt, and cheese. People forgot to separate the potato from the butter tsunami on top of it. That's like blaming lettuce for the calories in a Big Mac. Meanwhile, food marketing kept feeding the confusion. Guilt-free snacks appeared everywhere, as if eating a potato was something you had to confess afterward. You started seeing sweet potatoes rebranded as the healthy alternative, while white potatoes were treated like their trashy cousin who never went to college. Sweet potatoes got all the glory: superfood, anti-inflammatory, gluten-free. White potatoes just sat there wondering what they did wrong. The truth is, both are healthy. They just bring different things to the table. They're both filling, natural, and way better for you than the processed stuff we eat instead. But here's what's really interesting. The war on potatoes says more about us than about nutrition. Every few years, we pick a new food to fear: fat, sugar, carbs, gluten, seed oils, and turn it into the scapegoat for all our health problems. The potato isn't the problem. Our relationship with food is. We've turned eating into a moral battlefield. Good foods make you virtuous. Bad foods make you weak. But food isn't morality. It's chemistry, culture, and comfort. You shouldn't feel guilty for wanting mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. It's worth remembering that the world's healthiest cultures, the Mediterranean, the Okinawans, the Peruvians, all eat carbs. Lots of them. Potatoes, rice, beans, bread, all daily staples. What they don't eat much of are ultra-processed snacks and sodas. So maybe the problem isn't the potato. It's the processed junk that snuck in while we were busy counting carbs. And fun fact, potatoes are actually one of the most nutrient-dense, cost-effective foods on the planet. A medium potato gives you more potassium than a banana, plus vitamin C, B6, and fiber, all for under $1. If that's not a superfood, I don't know what is. So go ahead, eat the potato, enjoy it. Maybe don't deep fry it every day, but don't exile it either. The carb wars may never truly end, but the humble spud deserves a truce, because when it comes down to it, life's too short to fear a French fry. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.